get closer.
Good morning. It's You Up with Nikki Glaser. How's it going, you guys? It's Wednesday morning. We're in the middle of the week. I'm so excited. What a great show we have for you today. How are you today? I'm pretty good. I left yesterday at like a 4. I think I was a 4. And being 1 being the best. I'm going the opposite way. It's a depression scale, 10 being the most depressed. I left at a 4. I started the show at a 6. Today I'm like a 5. I'm just like feeling a little bit off. But I'm lifting out of it already. Like, we're taking off because I'm so excited about the show today. Great guest in studio. Andrew Collin is here. It's Wednesday.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Andrew.
Andrew.
Good morning.
What are you?
I'm at a 9 after hearing that speech.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you made me very depressed.
Oh, my God. I'm so sorry. Well, we'll get you down to a 8.7 in a couple minutes here.
I'm probably a 3.
Okay, you're a 3?
I'll be a 3.
Oh, that's good. You're giggly this morning.
Yeah,
I got a
I'm
sense that you're in a good mood.
I love her personality already.
Yeah,
I've never met her. God,
is
it fun. It's electric.
I told you yesterday, I was like, you're going to love Arden. She's not single. You're going to have a crush
Never mind,
instantly.
I hate her.
I knew
my God,
you
I'm
would.
garbage.
You know what's wrong with you?
You know your problem is.
You know what
your problem is.
Arden Mirren is here, everyone.
Marine.
Fuck!
I know there's a
Fuck,
why.
Arden.
No, honey.
Jesus Christ.
You know what? I can't hold a grudge at anybody because there's a why. There's a why.
Marine? Dude, I've been saying it wrong my whole life.
Everybody has.
But I'm like a friend of yours.
I know.
This is humiliating.
That's why quite honestly, I almost told you
just
in
said
advance.
it already. Yeah.
I almost told
you. Do you do that to people?
I almost told you in advance, but then I almost felt like sometimes I do that and people are like, yeah, I know. Like, and then so
I would have done that because in my head I would have been like, yeah, I'm going to get it right. I just like grabbed at it because as I was looking at it, I was like, oh shit, I'm not really committed to this.
It's a panic.
Hi, girl.
I feel like I'm
Ardent Marine is here, like the kind of biologist I wanted to be as a 3rd grader.
Oh my! Did you really?
I wanted to be a marine biologist because I just wanted to like pet whales. I thought that you just like hang out with whales.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had to like measure them and like study them and like microscopes.
My favorite marine life thing is that dolphins sometimes hump people.
I know they like
they have sex for pleasure.
And there's like video like they'll dry hump or hump wet or dry like people have been assaulted by dolphins.
I know,
which is
and
amazing.
the other way around.
Which is
I'm sure. I mean, they've got that whole.
Yeah.
They got 2 of them.
I would say I'm at so 1 is the best.
Yeah, okay, so 1 is the best.
Okay,
and 10 is like deeply depressed.
Okay, this month I was like a 7.
Okay,
I
that's
had
not
like
good.
a blue, but I feel like I'm now at like a 4.
Yes, I love a 4.
I like a 4.
4 is totally, you can manage a 4. You
Yeah.
can exist with a 4. You can have a great day with a 4.
Do you get social anxiety?
No,
Okay.
I don't. I don't. I mean, I guess we all suffer a little bit of that, but that's not my main thing. I get self-hatred that is crippling and then makes me not want to leave my house or makes me want to leave my house and then just be around my friends and just talk about how shitty I am. And then it depresses everyone and brings them all down.
Right.
Or brings them up on my scale.
Right.
But what kind of, do you have social anxiety?
I do have social anxiety.
Which is so bizarre to me because you are so effervescent and so fun to be around and just a light. How do you have social anxiety? What does it do?
It's hard for me to leave my house. So like once I'm out and I'm actually like one-on-one, I'm okay with people. Like if I'm comfortable with you, I always feel better after an interaction, but I get nervous before I go places or with large groups.
What kind of nerves do you get?
I get sort of bad self-talk, panicky. I'll just not want to go. I will just be like, you know what? I will sort of dilly-dally around my house and because I'm nervous.
Yes, but like you go on auditions all the time. Like you are an actress and comedian and you perform all the time.
Yeah.
Do you get nervous about auditions?
Everything.
And stuff?
I get nervous for everything. But you know what? I've come to accept. I have to say, like a few years ago, I've done some plays in New York, and I only, not to sound like a complete dickhead by saying that, I say it by realizing So I think with stand-up, if it doesn't go well, it feels more personal. I feel like with a play, there's other people up there with you, and I did see that I had anxiety every night, and that night to night, like sometimes we would have our best performances and like the audience just wouldn't wake up, and it made me feel like, oh, okay, this is just, maybe it's also part of how me being excited about it, or like adrenaline manifests as deep dread.
Yeah.
I get the dread, but my dread is like, I don't want to sit around. I don't want to wait. I dread waiting. I dread being somewhere and having to sit around and be idle. Like, that's the dread. I just want to go. I want to walk on stage. I want to get off stage and I want to go. Like, I don't like hanging.
How do you feel before a stand-up, like when you get to a city, it's the first show in the city. How do you feel the hours leading up to the show?
Andrew, you want to take this one for me?
She doesn't care at
I
all.
don't care at all.
I'm like pacing. I'm coughing.
Me too.
I do a cough that
What's your cough?
Oh, it's so annoying. I literally,
and then like I'll try to burp out
so
like some kind of indigestion.
He starts coughing.
It's going
he goes
away
to
a
the
little
bathroom
bit.
and pees like 18 times.
I pee 18 times. Once I'm going, I'm fine. Once I'm going, I have fun.
Yes.
But I peed 18 times for this, and then once I'm going, I'm fine.
Really?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, I can be crying. I can be in the middle of a conversation. I can be singing and dancing to a song. I don't care.
Did you always have that?
No, I used to like look at my notes because I didn't, I felt like maybe unprepared and I just wanted to make sure everything was memorized. And I used to like look at my notes and pace around a little bit. But I would say in the last 8 years, 10 years, it hasn't, and I've been doing it 15. I would say that was the first 5 years where I would but I would bring up like a piece of paper on stage and always have it on the stool with my jokes on it just in case I forgot. But now I just trust that I'm gonna even if I don't remember the bits that I plan on doing, I can just grab something from my head, even if it's not right. I just don't.
You also get on stage more than anyone. Like almost in the world.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like when it's a weekend gig, it's you've already been on stage 40 times that week.
Yeah.
So it's like, and you're almost more.
Do you perform every night during the week here?
No. Like I didn't
Almost.
perform last night. I didn't perform the night before. I would say, yeah. I mean, kind of, yes, because then I do like 3 sets. Like I do like 3 sets if I'm here on a weekend, or 5 or 6.
I mean, so yeah, if you were nervous you're warmed up. You've done your 78,000 Malcolm Gladwell
Yeah, I've
hours.
done the Malcolm
Gladwell.
I'm well on my way. I haven't done it. I don't think I've done 10,000 hours yet, but I'm definitely
100% have. You've been doing this for 15 years, and you do like you for sure have.
You think?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, you have.
If you
I
haven't,
just
no
don't
one
get
has.
nervous.
Yes, you have.
I don't feel. I wish sometimes I did, because it would give me that, like, it would. I see people like get excited for shows and it angers me. Like Andrew's like anxiety angers me because
Yes.
it's like,
So I keep it to
who
myself.
cares?
I
Like,
cough on the inside now.
Right,
because I run through.
you're Boo Radley. You got to go hide it in a corner.
What's the anxiety in performing in Burlington, Vermont? Like, what's the worst thing that will happen if you?
Here's the thing. I don't get up that much during the week as much as you. So there is more lag time in between. I didn't get on stage for like 2 weeks until Burlington. That's one thing. Anxiety also means I care, I think.
Yeah.
If I didn't care.
Yeah, I don't care.
Well, that's,
I like that. There's a freedom
I
in
think
that.
there's somewhere in the
don't.
middle,
There's a
though.
freedom in that.
I think there's somewhere in the middle, don't
Yeah.
you? Like,
Yeah.
I think I think the anxiety energy, it's not so much anxiety. It's just, I think when you get on stage, I think you have more of a presence because you're more because of the anxiety. You can see more things. You can be more in the moment because
It's like the animal
bear's- exactly.
the bear's going to attack you.
The bear. We all know
feel
like 3 terms.
I get it the worst the first show of the weekend, and then I feel
Same.
once I sort of know the stage, I know the vibe of the room. Once I've had a test run, I feel better.
Same.
Yeah, I guess I do wish I cared a little bit more. Like, we got picked up by the woman who runs the club in Burlington at the airport, and I forget what I said, but I almost felt bad because I was just like, I don't care about these. I almost said like I don't care because I really like, if people really knew the amount of effort I put in. That's my thing, is like, if you lifted the veil and saw the amount of effort I put into radio and stand up, You'd be appalled. I just show up. I don't, and I know that the work is doing it, and the
Yes.
work is showing up. I do not write jokes prior to going on. I don't ever spend any time on stand-up off stage. Literally zero. I mean, like, if I say something funny, I'll write it in my phone. If I think of something to talk about on radio, I'll write it in my phone. It literally takes 10 seconds, though. It is nothing. I never... Like, I listen to, like, Howard Stern spends hours producing his show every day.
Right.
And I know that we have different shows. I just don't like to do preparation. I don't like to reflect on the work that I've done. We have a call with Comedy Central today to talk about the show, this show that you're listening to right now.
Yeah.
And I am dreading it because I don't want to be I don't want to talk about what I've done. I don't want to review anything. I want to just look to I want to be in the present.
Agreed.
I don't want to talk about the past. I don't want to talk about the future. I just want to fucking do it. I don't want to rehearse. I don't want to look at my tape. I don't like. That's why I like I don't like taped auditions. I don't want to see what I've done. I just want to wing it. But that's why I never book anything because I don't prepare.
Can I ask you one thing about? But you're a very good joke writer. Like your jokes are well crafted.
They come out that way.
So they come out that way.
But then they develop over time and I tighten them because I tell them on stage.
You do them enough. You do them
have
enough.
that ability. I mean, you do it with the roast. I mean, no one works harder than you when it comes to the roast.
Yeah.
And organizing. And I mean, it's insane how organized, how hard you work on it compared to what you feel like you are with stand up in this radio show.
Yeah, but the
so
roast is something that I cannot not work like that's
you can't just rely on your skill.
No.
Yes.
I have to like look and sit and read jokes, but with the roast I ask for help because the stand up I don't ask for help. Radio I don't really ask for help.
Yeah.
I mean I have help, like I have a team, but like it's not content wise. Yeah, but the roast, like I ask people to write jokes so that I can get my brain thinking in that way.
Who's your favorite joke writer?
JP McDade. He wrote for me. He's like a comic in New York City. He's a young guy, just like on the scene. He had submitted for the roast, didn't get the job, like to be in the writer's room. Yeah. And then he reached out to me being like, hey, if you need writers. And then he got like 3 jokes on, which is a lot of my set. Like that. And I think I literally had 45 to 50 people writing for me.
That's amazing.
And I ended up writing the bulk of my jokes, but then I mean this guy got 3 jokes on out of like I don't know 20 jokes. That's a big chunk, and this kid is amazing. His name's JP McDade. He's gonna be on the shows pretty soon. But
yeah, JP.
Ooh, he's tall too.
Yeah, he's tall and so cute.
Yeah,
oh my god, it's crazy.
Good golf swing. Too.
So you don't prep for auditions.
And that's why I just don't do them anymore because it was a waste of everyone's time for me to just because I don't like rehearsing. I don't like getting notes. I don't like being told that wasn't good. I just want to wing everything. And that's why I want to do a reality show. That's why any TV show I do, I don't want, I don't know. I don't like to work. And people go, like I've been talking about making TV shows and meetings about making TV shows. And I keep telling these people like, I don't want to do a show that I have to work I don't want to kill myself working. I don't want to, it won't be
fun.
good.
I mean, this is like something like this is fun.
But it's when people think I work really hard, I just show up, Arden.
Yeah.
I just book gigs and I show up and I do
like
the
that.
set, but that doesn't feel like work to me. I'm not. Yeah. There are guys that get up and they go to the cafe and they sit and they look at their notebook all day.
I write.
How do you work?
With auditions, I hire I get them, I panic. Even though it's like in order to book a job, you have to get auditions, but the second they come in, I'm like, oh fuck. You know, and it's like, and again, you need like the only way to get the job is to go in and dance for it. But I'm like, oh man. And then I usually get in the tub and I run it like 10 times and I will just try to get out my critical brain, like just for words. And then I pay my friend. I have 2 friends I pay. One of them is my friend Jacob and one is my friend Jordan. And I hire them to either on the phone or in person. They literally come to my house and we run the scene like 10 or 15 times out loud just so I've done it in front of another human and so that I know the other part. And I'll try and make a specific choice, but my goal is to be as familiar with the actual words so that when I go in, I can be present and in the moment and have a chance of like listening and responding to the reader in a natural way.
And not just trying to recall what I say next.
Now, have you ever done it without doing all that?
I have, but
like recently, do you feel like there's a huge difference when you?
My eyesight is so bad that I literally can't see. It's hard for me to. But even before that, like it's just harder for me to see the text. So I find I book when I'm prepared with that.
Yeah.
But with stand up, I do better. I always record my sets. I do better. I'll listen back and I'll see if I riffed on something, and then that's where like it's generally my improv stuff that's like that's where I'll be like, oh, I should lean into that, and then I'll try that again and add more, and then I'll listen to what I did. But it's like I'll try and come up with a punchline, but oftentimes it's more in the moment.
It for me as well. I don't listen to my sets. I record all my sets, but it's just in case I die tragically that my parents can release my lost tapes and make some money off of me. It truly is why I record my sets.
Or Katy Perry.
Yes. Is she dead?
No, but she did record everything in her documentary. One day, my mom, I was like, I wrote a pilot, and my friend and I made this pilot. We shot it, and it didn't get picked up, and I was like feeling sorry for myself. And my mom called me. She's like, "You need to watch the Katy Perry documentary." I was like, "What?" She's like, so I was like, "All right." And then watching Katy Perry get a text from Russell Brand that he's like divorcing her, and then she's like crying and in the shoot, and then like goes up like and like fucking.
That's
flares.
my favorite part of that. Like literally, maybe any movie. It's the best scene.
My mom was right. I was like, if she can do that, I can
rise
get
from
off
that.
the fucking couch and like get my act together because like Adult Swim didn't pick up a pilot.
Right. That was a moment where she just like takes the microphone and just is like sobbing, and then she just goes
in the shoot. Yeah,
and then she smiles and gets lifted up on the
California girl. I mean, but she had recorded everything, and she was prepared to be a star there was nothing not recorded from a young age.
Yes, I do this thing though, Arden, that if you don't want to have to go back and listen to a riff that you did, because I hate listening.
It's horrible.
I don't listen to anything.
Atrocious. No,
I go this weekend I was riffing something on stage about how I'm only looking for a man. I really am looking for a man with like a dead mom.
Great, love that.
Like a mom, and not just dead. Like you've mourned it, you've been through it, you're at peace with it. Not only because like I want the mom out of the way because men just love their moms too much, and it's not their fault.
Or they hate them, or they hate them. They hate them.
But they're always that the mom is still. If the mom is still there, you're gonna be. Shout out to moms because you do a great job. You get in so hard, and you get in that you there's no competing with that. And I want to give you space with your son until you pass away, and then that's where I take your place.
I like that,
and I want you to have really. I don't want to hold his hand through it either because I don't.
No.
It's not that I don't want to be there for the person that I love during a hard time, but like the mom thing is so just sticky, and like the reason you're attracted to me is because I probably remind you of your mom. So then it's gonna be weird. I want an orphan or someone who's already lost their mom.
My friend wants a guy with a dead wife. My friend's dream is a guy whose wife died 10 years ago, but like,
ooh, that's good.
She wants a guy like. You know, maybe he's got an 8-year-old or whatever, but like, like he's not angry. He doesn't have a crazy ex-wife. He's not paying some weird alimony. He's not he's not still going to court like Bethany Frankel and fighting with some ex. You know,
there's not some woman that you have to compete with who's thinner.
Yeah, you want somebody who's like dead, like an 8-year widower.
Yes, and so I riffed this on stage and it was doing well, and I was like, I just knew that I was going to forget it. It's happened too many times where you riff something and you're like, oh, that was good. And I recorded it, but I'm not going to go back and have to find where it was.
Horrible.
So I always say to the audience, will someone tweet that at me later? Will someone tweet me, dead mom, got like single, I'm looking for a guy with a dead mom.
That's
someone tweet that at me. And then I get tweets after the show that's like, hey, here's what you said. And then it reminds me of the jokes that I riff on stage.
Smart.
So just take a moment and it makes them feel like a part of the moment. And they get excited that
I'm going to do that.
Oh, I did something this past weekend at Burlington and no one wrote me. I forget what I got to go back and listen to
My
it.
bad.
They were so high. That Vermont loves to get high.
That's another thing that I like to do before I go on stage. Is sometimes I get really, really high because it makes me nervous.
Oh, okay.
It makes me be like, oh no, I'm fighting this. I have to stay in the moment. I have to stay thinking. I have to think, what am I thinking next? I can't just trust that I'm it's almost like running with like a weighted vest or something. It makes it hard again. It makes
running with a weighted blanket.
yeah.
Like, oh God.
It gives me a new challenge.
I'm really bad at pot. I do like CBD oil, but I'm terrible. I go right to Middle Earth, like Smeagol. You have to hold my hand.
Really?
Full Smeagol. Like
what does that mean?
Like, I'm a situation. People will go like, oh, I want to see you high. And then it's like, you really don't. And then it's like, okay. And then I go like, oh, if I don't concentrate on inhaling and exhaling, like I'm going to fall into your couch. You have to hold my hand so I don't fall into your couch. I'm going to go to Middle Earth. There's a lot of Middle Earth traveling.
Yes.
I can feel my throat a lot.
I feel like we're wired, like anxiety levels.
ADHD.
Yeah, just like a little like similar anxiety level.
Yeah, it's.
I did smoke weed this weekend though, and I
Did you?
enjoyed it.
Did you? I feel like
He never
But I'm on
does.
Zoloft now, and so I think I could drink coffee. I couldn't drink coffee before,
Sure.
and I couldn't smoke weed, and now I
That'll
can.
do it.
Now it balances me.
Yeah, with weed, you are very out of it.
Yeah.
You were just like in your phone, and like I would be talking to you, and you wouldn't
This
hear
is my
me.
phone.
And
No,
I'm
I
like,
heard you.
Andrew, we're leaving, and he's like, still, Andrew, we're leaving. Like you laugh a lot. Like you're just a classic stoner.
I'm
when you
very
get stoned.
giggly. Like I did
yeah.
I smoked before I went on stage. I was just like, I
You
felt
were
like
living
Cheech
your
and
best
Chong
life.
in my head. Like I
Yes.
was feeling that.
Well, Ari smoked our opener smoked
Yeah.
some pot too before we went on stage on this second show, and he got off stage and was like, "Oh, that wasn't good." I'm like, "You were worse because you got high. That's not good. Don't do it again."
Yeah, don't
I
do
feel
it.
like
He
when I
takes-
get high, sometimes it can be. Maybe parts can suffer, like my my memory for like, because sometimes I'm in the middle of a bit and I go off on a tangent, and then coming back to the bit, I suffer getting back to it because I go, what was I talking about? But then I just ask the crowd, what was I saying before? And then they remind me. That's maybe
good.
But I think that I benefit in other ways because it makes me very present. It makes my mind go in different ways.
Yes.
So but if it makes you worse on stage,
Don't do
then
it.
don't do it.
Don't do it.
I can't. And
He accidentally took too big of a hit. We were gonna take a quarter of a hit
Sure.
each, but it was already lit. So when he went to light, but it was already lit, and so he took a full hit.
Yeah,
Well, no,
it was too
I took
late.
a
Yeah,
full hit.
too
It's too late. Too late.
You took a full hit,
You
pal.
took a full, and there you are, and you're in Vermont, and it's going to be strong, and things are going down.
it was so fun though. Arden,
Hi, honey.
Arden
Hi.
Marine. You can find her on the TV show Insatiable. If
Yes.
you watch Insatiable on Netflix, Netflix just announced season 2.
It just dropped on Friday.
Oh, it just dropped on Friday?
Yes, it just dropped
Well,
on
this
Friday.
is an old announcement.
Great, I love it.
You play Regina Sinclair. I haven't seen the show, but people freaking love
It's
it.
really fun.
Congratulations,
Thank
dude.
you. Oh my, I'm a bad guy.
You're bad.
I'm a villain. Yeah.
Oh my
I'm a
gosh.
shit bag. I'm like the worst. I'm a garbage person.
Were you so excited to book that? Like,
Yes.
what was your feel? Like, how did that process go?
I auditioned to play the part that Sarah Colonna got.
Oh.
And but then they were like, we want you for this, and I was so excited. And I'm like a glamorous shitbag. I go to jail in season 1 for having sex with a 17-year-old boy.
Oh my god.
Come out with like long nails, like full. That eventually, like by the end of the season, I'm homeless, but I still have like press-on nails and living in a box and still like flirting. Just a disaster. Just a garbage.
You look like you have
person.
so much fun on that show.
It's actually really fun.
Do you love your cast?
I
Everything's-
love the cast. I love Debbie Ryan. I love our showrunner. It's the first time I've ever had like a female showrunner.
Yeah.
She's so badass. It's so inspiring just to
Yes.
see. And she just guards her vision. She does it with a sense
Who
of
is it?
humor. Lauren Gus's. She wrote for Dexter for 8
Okay.
years. But it was just like that. It's silly and dark, and she just stuck to her guns, and it's a joy.
Yeah,
It's a joy.
I'm so happy for you.
Thanks.
You're so talented. You were on Mad TV. That's where you first sprung onto the scene.
Hey, girl.
You
Hey, girl.
and that you got that young, like fresh out of the gate. How was that process? Like,
Oh my god, that was terrifying.
how many seasons were you on Mad
I was
TV?
on the last 4 seasons.
Wow.
With Bobby Lee and Key and Peele and Ike and Stephanie Weir and
I forgot Ike was on that.
Ike was on that.
Wow.
I mean, yeah. So I feel like the gals need to come be like, we're coming for you. All the guys are doing awesome.
Oh.
It was intimidating and fun, but it was sort of like all of the stress of Saturday Night Live with none of the Vanity Fair covers.
Yeah.
Because it's like sketch shows are no joke.
Yeah.
But it was I mean, it was fun.
Hard to read the cue cards for you.
We didn't have any cue cards.
Oh.
You didn't have a live audience, right?
We did.
Oh, okay.
So like every other week we would rotate live audience. We would film like the movie parodies and then they would air them and then we would do sketches in front of the audience.
But you had to memorize lines.
We had to memorize lines.
That was the difference, yeah.
That was the diff. The big diff.
And then you also have a podcast, Will You Accept This Rose, which I have been on before.
Yes.
Are you guys currently in season?
You know what? We're not because it's a Bachelor podcast.
It's a Bachelor podcast.
We're going to be on iHeartRadio starting in January.
That's great, dude.
We're doing our first live show in LA, December 15th at Dynasty Typewriter with Lance Bass and Wells Adams from the
Love
show,
Wells.
Paget Brewster, Aaron Foley. It's really fun.
Oh my God, I love that show so much. If you are a Bachelor fan, I'm telling you, you got to be listening to Will You Accept This Rose.
Thank you.
It's Arden and Aaron and Paget and
Rob Benedict.
And Rob, you guys are so funny. I've had the best time when I've come on there. You have the greatest guests. It's really just covers everything in the most funny, fun way.
It's a real jackass affair. It's a blast.
It is so good.
You're so fun on it.
Oh my God, I gotta come back.
You were supposed to do it, but then you were doing Dancing with the Stars.
I know, and I was too stressed out to do it.
Did you have fun on that?
The best time of my life.
I mean, Kate Flannery's doing it right now.
I know, yeah.
I need to talk to you about. You had a great time.
I had the best time. I mean, I had the best time and the worst time because I was eliminated right away and it was devastating. But it was like the greatest experience of my entire life.
How exciting!
It was the best.
What was the highlight for you? And I know you have stuff to do. I know you have business.
The highlight was learning a new skill.
Yes.
And just being on a set that I will never, ever be on again. Just meeting people and meeting people that I would never meet, dancers.
Who was the biggest rando celebrity that you were with that you were excited about?
Mary Lou Retton was pretty cool that I'm like friends with Mary Lou Retton now.
I remember I was excited that you were working with Grocery Store Joe.
Oh, yes.
But then...
Yeah, no, he's lovely. He actually is...
he was from The Bachelor.
Yeah, he's great.
Is Mary Lou Retton this big?
She's so tiny and so brave, and she was just fresh off of a divorce, and she was. I'm just so proud of anyone going through a divorce or just like going through a life change later in life where they're scared and they're taking on a new shot. She was just so cool, and everyone on the show was just so inspiring. I loved it. Loved it, and I'm dying to go back.
I want you to go back so badly because I want to come see you in the audience. I want to see the outfits. I'm picturing
so fun.
I'm picturing some fringy thing, like a kick skirt for you, some kind of like a flapper thing, but like, oops, peekaboo, here's my tip.
Oh my God, it
all
was
of
so fun. Being sexy too was so fun. Like getting to dress up. It was the best. I got to go to break. Gary Janetti is going to join us after the break. Gary Janetti has a new book out. Where is his sheet? What's his book? Oh, here. It's called Do You Mind If I Cancel? Gary Janetti is popular on Instagram. You should follow him on there. He is a Family Guy writer and producer. Can't wait to talk to him. Arden Marine is here.
Yes.
From Insatiable and from Will You Accept This Rose, the Bachelor podcast that I love so much. Comedian, hilarious, friend. I love you.
I love you
and
too.
Andrew Collin from Puddles with Andrew Collin is also here, and From the Road with me. Guys, let's talk about hiring. Hiring can be a challenge. As Codable co-founder Gretchen Hebner discovered, Gretchen knew it wouldn't be easy to find the right game artist for her education tech company, so she went to ZipRecruiter. Because ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you, it finds them for you. Its technology identifies people with the right experience and invites them to apply to your job, so you get qualified candidates fast. Gretchen posted her job on ZipRecruiter and was impressed with how quickly she found qualified applicants. She also used ZipRecruiter's screening questions to filter her candidates, so she could focus on the most relevant ones. And that's how Gretchen found a new game artist in less than 2 weeks. With results like that, it's no wonder 4 out of 5 employers who posted on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See why ZipRecruiter is effective for businesses of all sizes. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/Nikki. That's ZipRecruiter.com/Nikki. Nikki. ZipRecruiter.com/Nikki. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. We're back after this. Hey guys, there's nobody on the planet like you, so why would you buy a generic mattress built for everyone else? Helix Sleep built a sleep quiz that takes 2 minutes to complete, and they use the answers to match your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress. Whether you're a side sleeper, a hot sleeper, you like a plush or a firm bed, with Helix there's no more guessing and no more compromising on an average mattress. Go to helixsleep.com/Nikki, take their 2-minute sleep quiz, and they'll match you to a mattress that will give you the best sleep of your life. Helix Sleep was even awarded the #1 best overall mattress pick of 2019 by GQ and Wired magazine. They have a 10-year warranty, and you get to try your mattress out for 100 nights risk-free. Helix mattresses are shipped right to your door completely free, and they'll even pick it up for you if you don't love it, but you will. Right now, Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders. Get up to $200 off at helixsleep.com/Nikki, helixsleep.com/Nikki. We're back. It's You Up with Nikki Glaser, in studio, Andrew Collin.
Yeah,
Arden Marine.
Yeah.
Hey, girl.
And now author, writer, television producer, Instagram celebrity, Gary Janetti is here. Gary,
Hi,
welcome to
guys.
the show. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Your new book, Do You Mind If I Cancel, is available now everywhere. Congrats on, is this your first book?
It's my first book.
Oh my gosh, congrats.
Thanks.
How was that writing a book?
It was weird. It's really hard to write a book, and it takes a long time.
It
and
does.
It's a nightmare.
This
It's
is
a
what-
living hell.
when-
I
Whenever
just
someone
turned
comes-
in my first draft. I just
Yeah,
sold a
am
book
I-
and I just turned it in, and
Yeah.
I'm like in the panicky wait. It was hard to
Yeah,
write a
yeah.
book.
I am so impressed and whenever I have someone in who wrote a book, I'm just like, that's always my first question is like, how did you write
It was
a
always
book?
mine. When I would go to a bookstore, I'm like, how did they do it? And I've been a writer for over 20 years,
Yes.
but a book it just feels so daunting, right?
Yes.
Like when I met with my editor, James Millia, came after the Instagram, was like talking to me, would you want to write a book? And I'm like, hell yeah, I want to write a book. I'm like, I'm going to write the fucking shit out of it. Oh, can I curse?
Yes.
No.
And then, of
no,
course,
doesn't like
after
it.
we did it, I went home and I was like, I've made a horrible mistake.
How
Like,
long-
how do you
How long
do
did it take you
write
to
a book?
write it?
About 7 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
How many pages though?
Yeah, not a lot.
15.
175.
Oh, never
More of a
mind.
brochure.
I literally, my first call after I wrote the first essay was like, how short can a book be?
Yeah.
I know they can be
50,000.
very long.
You start writing in
I have
Courier New.
seen very long books. How short is a short
Yeah,
book?
when do we go from pamphlet to book? Like, what is that 1 page difference?
2.5
I-
space.
Yeah,
Like
it's
you're
in
writing
Courier
a paper
New.
in high school.
I feel like it'll be short. Yeah.
Well, so it's a collection of essays from spanning from your childhood up until present day.
No, up until the time that some from present day, but mostly until I was like 28, until I moved out of New York and moved to LA.
So this is a great book for someone looking to figure out how do you break into this industry? What does it look like, or is it? I
No,
mean, is
it's
it
not.
It
Yeah,
isn't.
no.
What is it a great
It
book
is
for?
not a great book for that, Nikki. No,
But
because it's actually not about that.
Yeah.
It's more just, essays like from when I was like super young to when I was living in New York and working all of the service industry jobs that I worked.
Yes.
I worked everything. I cleaned apartments. I cater waitered, which was very popular in the 90s.
Right.
Less so now, but it was very, glamorous then. I worked at the Paramount Hotel, which at the time was, the place to stay. It was like Grand Hotel. Everybody wanted to work at the Paramount. But I waited tables. I was terrible at it. Every
tables
job
is
that I needed
hard.
to do. And I couldn't
really hard.
figure out how to get beyond that. I'm from Queens, I'm from New York, and I wanted to be a writer, but I didn't know what that meant. When you say, like, I want to be a writer, like, I knew nobody. I had access to nobody. There was no internet. I couldn't Google anything. So it was this weird thought, but I didn't know how to actually do it. So all of these jobs that I did in New York, it's kind of about that period of my life when I was lost. I could not figure shit out.
And that's what I meant by this is a good book for someone who wants to. And maybe you're not talking about the process of how you broke into the business, but I always sought out when I wanted to be someone when I was young. I always sought out those kind of collections of essays and biographies because I wanted to understand that. I wanted to read about a struggle of someone who was very
Yeah.
successful, and I feel like that is we can look at your
Yeah.
life now and be like, oh, he must have always had it so easy, and and it's nice to know. Maybe no, you didn't.
No, but totally. I was the same. I was the same way, Nikki. I used to like that too. And everything for me, when I was a kid, books were they were kind of a bit of a lifeline. And reading about people whose experiences maybe might not have been like my own, you can still sometimes see something and it's like, oh, I feel that way too. And you feel less alone, as kind of maybe trite as that sounds. It's really can be helpful, and that's always that kind of thing. But it was, I felt so... I was like backwards thinking, like I got a job at the Paramount Hotel because I knew famous people stayed there.
Yeah.
Celebrities stay there. So my thinking was, well, if I get a job there,
Yes.
I will be in their orbit and somebody will inevitably discover me. Now, I don't know what that meant, what I was going to be discovered for.
Yeah.
It was like, that's for them to decide.
Yes.
That's not my business. Maybe it will be a writer on a soap opera. Maybe they will offer me a contract on All My Children. Let's hear what they have to
Yes.
say.
Susan
I'll
Lucci.
meet them and it'll all come together.
Who was the most exciting celebrity who was everybody a buzz about at the Paramount in the
God,
90s?
at the time, Shannon Doherty stayed when she was at the
Yes.
height of everything. And it was like, I can't believe my life that Shannon Doherty is checking into the hotel.
Yes.
Like, I've really made it.
Did she misbehave? Because she was a
No,
bad
she
girl.
she didn't. She was kind of lovely. Marsha Brady at the time, Maureen McCormick. I
Right.
believe she was starring in a Broadway revival of Grease. So this wasn't
Yes.
that far from, so this was the 90s, right? So it was still like 20 years from the Brady Bunch. And she asked, she came, I checked her out. I was like, Marsha, like, this is so exciting.
Yeah.
Like she didn't hear that like a billion times every day.
Did
Yeah.
you say Marsha to her?
No, I was,
Yeah.
I was still, I played it cool.
Yeah.
But then she went out and she's like, oh my God, I don't have any money on me, because I was a bellman. She's like, let me go out and I'm going to get some money. I'll be right back. Don't move. And I was like, okay. And I waited there and I'm like, she fucking stiffed me.
Oh my God, she
like,
ghosted you.
She did not.
You
come
got
back.
ghosted by
Yeah, I
Marsha.
did before ghosting was ghosting. Yes.
You know what? I love that
But I
story.
forgive her.
Sure.
I forgive. But I remember everything because I'm Italian. So every tiny slight. I don't want to. I don't mean to.
Yes.
They're just all there like a ticker tape.
Yes.
From that time. But it was the feeling of like somebody's going to let me know how to do the thing I want to do, which is such crazy thinking. Like anybody cared what I was doing other than checking them into a hotel or carrying their luggage.
Yes.
And it was like this really, it took me a couple of years of working there. The excitement, it suddenly was like, oh my gosh, I'm not, an undiscovered writer and actor. I'm a bellman, so I think you need to like say, and you're 28 and you're going to be 30 and you still are no closer to knowing how anything works. So the book is kind of like all of those jobs I worked in. It's kind of how I started getting to the point where I was like, I've got to shift my thinking and kind of make things happen for myself.
So what hotel did you work at next?
What did shift your...
Funny you should say that. Yeah, no, I did. I swore after I quit the Paramount Hotel, I'll never do another service industry job again. And I moved to LA and I was like, I'm going to write for TV. And I didn't know anybody. And I started writing what they call spec scripts. At the time, it was for shows like Frasier and Will and Grace and Friends.
So that you would have like, I could a sample
Yeah.
for
Right.
the show.
So,
Yes.
so you get a sample, and it was like, and it was the first time in my life I had never worked. I had, my savings, which was debt, and it was like more debt was my savings. So I finally said at a certain point, I'm like, it was a few months. I had written all these scripts, and I didn't have work, and I was like, I went into a hotel in LA, and I was like, I have to work. You have one must work. I had never not worked in my life, and I was like, I've just got to work, and it was. I filled out an application, and the next day I got a call, and I got my first writing job. So I never did have to do it
Oh,
again.
that's so
But it
great.
was one of the lowest points where I was like, I'm back in it again. I'm still this thing, and you do what you have to do. You work.
What was that first job you got?
It was a show called The Naked Truth, starring
yeah.
Tay Leone,
Tay Leone,
who
I
is
Did
now
Marsh
Madam
McCall
Secretary.
write on that?
No.
Okay.
Not when I was there. He
Yeah.
might have come later. At kind of.
Oh, were you so excited? Did it just feel like...
Yeah, you know what? Nikki, it felt like, it was answering machines at the time. I love when these things sound so quaint. Could you believe you would come home and you would you'd put your grocery bag down and you'd look at the flashing light, and if it said 7, I was like, one of these calls has to be. And one of them was this call from the executive producer of the show said, Gary, I read your script and I loved it. I want to meet with you. And then I met with him, and then the next day it was,
Oh my God.
I want to offer you a job. And nothing that has happened since, has ever felt as good.
Oh, yeah, that is that
Nothing.
first-
When I think,
Yeah.
it was the first time, when you're the first time you're seen as the thing, it's almost like you're like, I'm not insane.
I'm not
this hasn't all been happening in my head. So the book is about the period in my life all before that phone call.
I love that. And so then you never had to look back after that. It was just your
until I wrote this.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh God.
Yeah.
I really have to relive this kind of stuff, which was fun, the idea of being a kid. And it was, and it was also about trying to kind of fit in and I was a lonely kid. And I think a lot of kids are, and, it was about also me coming to terms with coming out, when I finally came out. And then that becomes kind of a job, being gay. It's like, I am a professional gay person now, I have to learn how to be in the world as this thing. And so everything else has to be on the back burner.
I've never thought about it that way. Of course, I understand that if you're hiding something your whole life and then suddenly you're out with it, you have... Now this is this thing you have to be. And
you have to figure it out.
How old were you when you came out?
I was 19, 20. I was in college. And the only reason I came out, people come for different reasons. I came out because I was exhausted of keeping a secret. I was literally, I couldn't even think about it. I was like, I'm tired of keeping a secret. I was just like, it's like just pure laziness.
How was it? How was it coming out?
After you do it, well, I milked it also, which I talk about in there, for all the fucking drama you could get out of it. It's like, well, I have a secret. Close the door, lock it. You have to swear to God not to tell anybody. It's like this big secret. And it was like these conversations that would go on forever, which basically you could sum it up with, I'm gay.
Yeah.
But it was like 4 hours. And, don't tell anyone. We can tell this one other person. Bring them in, and I'm going to start from the beginning again.
Yes. Wow.
But it's all that drama.
Yeah, but it's almost like and I don't want to compare the two because I don't know that they're even comparable, but like the whole time that you knew that you were going to be a TV writer and that's what you were and what you wanted to be, and then suddenly you get this job, showing up to work that first day being like, did that almost feel similar of like, now I'm a writer, act like a writer? What do writers...
Yeah, it's actually fun. It kind of did. And since I'd only lived in LA a really short amount of time, and, I'm from Queens, so it was this, and I in my head, what it's like to be, I had no clue what anything was like. And it was a writer's room with people that had worked on Mad About You and Friends and all of these successful writers. And me, it was my first job. But my feeling was, and the person who ran the show was very cruel. He could be cruel. Like, he would shame and humiliate people if they pitched and the pitch wasn't good. People cried in the room. People were arbitrarily fired. Like, you'd come in the next week and somebody would be gone.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I'd be like, where? And it was that. But I thought, I was like, well, this is what it's like. This is Hollywood. So if you're going to make it here, you just better, and I already had a really thick skin. So I looked like somebody that actually didn't, but I have a really thick skin. And I was fortunately quick on my feet. I was good at the thing, and I worked very hard. But I thought that's what this is like. So you better just get used to that. This is Hollywood. And it was like the worst experience, but it was the first. So it ended up being the best experience. Because everything else, I was like, oh, this is a sane person. And oh, this is a kind person. Oh, this is I'm like, oh, I have to, I can kind of relax a little into that. But the first thing was like a shit show. And I had to learn how to pitch. And I had never done it before. I was like, what's pitching? This is all insane. But when you learn under, and not under such stressful kind of circumstances, and you have nothing to compare it to, you're kind of like, I guess this is what it is. So I better, you sink or swim.
So then you went on to be a writer on other TV shows, and then ultimately an executive producer of shows. So you were in that position to be the boss.
Yeah.
What kind of boss are you?
I learned a lot from a lot of people along the way of how I don't want to be.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I don't want to ever make anybody kind of feel like that. I also don't think you get the best out of people.
Agreed.
Unless you find out what it is. Ideally you surround yourself with people who can contribute in a way that adds to it and that brings something that I couldn't bring. Like, I know we were talking earlier about two of the Family Guy writers that I work with, Alex Sulkin and John Viner, who I I have been friends with for many years, and we work together in the room at Family Guy, and the greatest thing, and they're two of the funniest people I know. And so many times, Alec will pitch something, and it's so funny, and I'll be so happy if it's in my script with my name on it, because you could leave me in a room for 1,000 hours, and I wouldn't come up with that joke.
Yes.
Right.
And that's what I appreciate. I'm like, oh my God, your brain works in a different way, and I can appreciate it, and I love it, and that's like the best of what it is when you work with people, and you can kind of all, celebrate each other. Sounds hokey, but you can certainly kind of elevate each other.
Yeah, I mean, you hear about those writing jobs where people just dread it every day.
Yeah,
the showrunner is a nightmare, and it's just like, I don't know, it's not worth it. It's
oh my God, no, it's totally not worth it.
Worrying every day if you're going to get fired, that environment, and people get off on kind of creating that environment. And
people just don't do their best. You have to, in order to be your best and to be creative and to be funny, if you're trying to be funny, you have to feel free.
Yes.
You have to be able to say, I'm going to make a fool of myself. This thing that could come out of my mouth could be really funny, or it could just die a horrible death.
Yep.
And I have to be able to let it die and, and get up and do the next thing. Because if you start saying like, oh, I'm not going to say this, I'm afraid, what will they say, da-da-da. And then you never get to say the thing that it's like, oh, that worked,
I know, because you can't predict if something's going to tank or be the funniest thing you've ever said.
Fearless. And
I used to panic pitching at Mad TV. I would panic. I would panic. I'd have to gear up for it. I would start sweating doing it. And, and a part of that was just my own wiring. But it was just like, I can't even imagine what it would have felt like to just be able to just actually go in and be relaxed and kind of throw spaghetti at the wall and like see what happens.
I remember when I was doing my show on Comedy Central and I was the host of it, so people would be pitching to me, and sometimes someone would say a joke and we'd be laughing, joke, laughing, and someone would say something and it just wasn't good. Yeah. And then you just kind of go, yeah. And I remember having that reaction and being like, if I was on the receiving end of that, I don't know that I could handle it.
Yeah. You
then
could.
You do because I've bombed on stage. I've said things on stage all the time that get no response, but it's a scary environment to walk into, especially as a young writer.
Yeah, it is.
Your first job. Oh my God.
I'm so grateful that the first one was actually the most stressful, the hardest one, because I was like, okay, like this is what it is, so figure it out.
What was that spec script you wrote? Which one did you decide to do?
I wrote, it was for Ellen.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so you wrote that, and then
Ellen dances.
She didn't dance then. She wasn't even a lesbian then. That's how long ago it was.
So let's talk about your Instagram presence, because you've blown up from your posts about Prince. Is it George?
Prince George, yeah.
Prince George and his critique and of the royal family, especially Meghan Markle. And this is just, if someone would have said you're going to be a meme celebrity, like you're going to operate in meme, like you would have not even known what that was. How did this start?
Actually wouldn't. I didn't know. I didn't know I was writing memes. I said to Brad, who's my husband, at one point, I'm like, "Are these memes?" Somebody was like, "This is a meme. What I'm doing." It makes me sound, but I wasn't, because in my mind, memes were like a different thing than I would. These kind of cutesy when the writing was on the photo. No, I didn't. I was just kind of fooling around on Instagram. I had worked in LA on something that was really an unsatisfying creative experience where I was like, that was unpleasant. And I won't repeat that mistake again of kind of doing something where it was like I didn't really feel that attached to it, creatively, and it was just like I was like, I want to do what I want to do without somebody giving me notes on it. I don't care what you think. I want to write what I think is funny and just go right to an audience.
Well, let me just.
And that was how I started going on Instagram.
How did that happen? So, like, you have such a prolific career and so many accomplishments. How did you get involved with something so recently that you didn't like? Like,
it's like a pilot that comes along. This is going to be great. All these people around it are so exciting. And you're like, yeah, this will be the thing. But it's not a thing I would have picked. And then the process starts, and my vision for it was very me, and it was not their vision for it, and I was not going to, and I knew enough. I'm like, I'm not bending my vision to yours. This will never work. And it was like, but that, doesn't happen overnight. It ends up being, a few months of just, unpleasantness.
Yes.
And
Like with collaborating, like it's one of those. I almost feel like it's harder than like dating, or like you don't like it's you go in with the best intentions, but you're sort of already in, and then you don't really know until you're. It's almost like going on a trip with somebody. Like you get along with somebody.
Who you want to go with on a trip.
And
it's the same thing.
You might get along with them for like lunch and dinner, but then all of a sudden you're like 24/7 for like 8 days. Like you don't know until you're in.
Because I've gotten into a situation where I've been like, oh my God, how did they convince me to work with this person?
Yeah.
I said yes to this, and now down the road we're actually making a show, and I don't even want to do this. And then I look back on my life, and I've been like, okay, when I've had every opportunity to choose the people I want to work with and made something, we've had bad time. Like
true story.
Even when you get to
Even your
choose,
friends.
sometimes
Yeah,
it's almost like an
totally.
arranged marriage can sometimes be the most successful one.
It can
and the one
be.
you,
I pulled the plug on a
yeah.
show. I pulled the plug on like before we filmed it because I didn't know, and I went in and I picked this person, and I was like, and I had a friend do an intervention that said, I know you want your like at what cost? Like this is not working now.
Yeah, the trick is, and the people who you work or don't work with and how you pick them is you need to be passionate about whatever you're doing. Will I watch this? The thing that I always say to myself is I always write the show I want to watch on TV. I always do the thing I wrote the book I wanted to read.
Yes.
That's what I think. If anybody else does, that's great. Obviously, you really hope you really hope. But if you don't do that, you're in a losing position.
Yep.
So if you're passionate about it, because it's going to be a nightmare to get it through, you need to be all along the way. But I love this project, and if you're not, that's when it goes bad, right?
Yes.
So starting the Instagram, it was like, I just want to have fun. I want to say things that make me laugh. And if people like it, that's great. So I started with text posts, and it was just very kind of, like just my feelings about life. And then occasionally I would do photos, and I would do memes, captions. And then Prince George, there were photos of him going to school now it's 2 years ago. And I was like, oh, he's so expressive. So I did a caption on that. And then like a month later, I was like, can I do a second one of him with a different photo? And I was like, oh, I guess I can. And that's kind of how it started. Yeah. And then when Harry got engaged to Meghan, my first thought was, oh, George won't like this.
Yeah.
And I started expanding how I thought. So I started thinking of it as a TV series. I'm like, I'm going to use Instagram to create a TV series about Prince George as this Machiavellian, petty, insecure little tyrant obsessed with pop culture and celebrity and his place in the world and becoming king, and how he is undone by everything going on around him, and how he wants to control everything.
I can't wait to get on my phone.
If you aren't already following Gary Janetti, you must. Gary Janetti, Gary Janetti on Twitter and Instagram. It's so funny, these memes that he does of the royal family. And, even making fun of the royal family at all, you get a lot of heat, I'm guessing.
Yeah, people sometimes don't get it or whatever, but most people are kind of like on board.
Yes.
I'm like, if not, bye.
Bye. But you have so many followers. I mean, you blew up from this thing, and it's still just as funny as it was when it started.
Thanks.
It's so good. Do You Mind If I Cancel is the name of the book. Gary's new book, a collection of essays from childhood up until he became a writer. And I can't wait to read it. I love collections of essays. You're so funny. There's so much to learn from you. Thank you for being here.
Thanks,
Do You
Nikki.
Mind If I Cancel? Where does that title come from? Can I ask you that?
Yeah, it comes from my favorite text to receive or send.
Oh my God, it's the best. It's the best.
It really is.
It's my favorite one to receive.
And you know what? It was the greatest. When I became friends with Amy Schumer, she gave me the greatest gift a friend can give. And because I had to write her one time and be like, I can't make it I just don't feel like leaving my house. I was like depressed. And she goes, babe, I will never, ever be mad at you if you cancel on me, no matter what. It will always be okay. And giving someone that gift.
Oh, it's the best.
It's the best because we worry so much. Do you mind if I cancel?
I'll be happy that you cancel.
Yes. Do you mind if I cancel? What a great text to receive and or send and have it just hearted. Do You Mind If I Cancel is the book. Get it for anyone's birthday coming up. We've got holidays coming up. Go order it now. It is available now. Gary Janetti, you will laugh your ass off. Do You Mind If I Cancel? Get that book. And he has a bunch of readings and signings and everything coming up. Go check it out. You can follow him on Gary Gary Janetti on Twitter and Instagram. GaryJanetti.com as well. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for
It
having
was really
me.
fun. Andrew Collin and Arden Marine will be here when we get back. Guys, let's talk about menopause. If you have mood swings, muscle aches, if you feel like menopause symptoms are getting in your way, that's why you will need Equell. Equell is a plant-based menopause relief formula that helps to reduce the frequency of hot flashes, provide mood support, and relieve muscle discomfort associated with menopause. Equell, made with naturally derived S-Equol, contains no hormones, requires no prescription, and has no side effects. It's easy. You order it at Equell, EQUELLE.com, and they ship it directly to you. It's safe and effective and trusted by over 50,000 women. Shipping is free, and you can cancel at any time. Move on from mood swings and forget hot flashes. It's time to feel like yourself again. Get 25% off right now off your first month supply at equell.com/Nikki. EQUELLE.com/NIKKI. Go right now, equell.com/Nikki for 25% off your first month supply. Plus, Equell is backed by a 60-day money-back guarantee. Listen to that. Nothing to lose here. Equell.com/Nikki. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any disease. And we'll be back with more You Up with Nikki Glaser after this. When you're selling online, getting your orders out can be a real pain in the butt. That is why you need ShipStation.com. Yeah, that's right, Arden Marine, dancing along to ShipStation. It's the fastest, easiest, and most affordable way to manage and ship your orders. ShipStation helps you get orders out quickly, save money, and keeps your customers happy. No matter where you're selling, ShipStation brings all your orders into one simple interface, making them really easy to manage from any device, even your cell phone. ShipStation will recommend the best shipping carrier for each order based on the specific needs of your order, and then gives you the you can compare rates across all the top carriers, including UPS, USPS, FedEx, whatever you're using. No wonder ShipStation, it's the number one choice of online sellers. So if you're not shipping with ShipStation, you got to go check them out. You guys can try it for free for 60 days by using offer code COMEDY right now. There's no credit card required to try it out, so why wait? Go to ShipStation.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in comedy. ShipStation.com, enter comedy, ShipStation, make ship happen. And we're back. It's You Up with Nikki Glaser, Andrew Collin, and Arden Marine in studio. Arden is on the new, not new anymore, second season just dropped, Insatiable, right now on Netflix. People love this show. I haven't watched it because I don't watch any shows.
It's really fun.
It's
really
so fun. People freaking love it. You're so talented. I'm so excited.
Thank
You got a
you.
great role on a great show,
Thanks,
a critically
honey.
acclaimed show. Arden Marine also has a podcast, Will You Accept This Rose, that talks all about The Bachelor. It's so funny. It's so fun. She's also a stand-up comedian and just a joy to be around. She has a show at the Hayworth Theater on Sunday, December 15th at 4 p.m. That is the live show of Will You Accept This Rose in L.A. It's such a fun live show to go to. I
Thanks.
don't usually recommend live podcasts because they're usually the episode that you're like, I don't want to listen to this one. Your live, I've been on your live podcast. What a freaking fun time that is.
I mean, the whole thing was built out of, just to piggyback on what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Like, it is literally, I built the dumbest thing in the world that I was like, nobody's gonna, and it just makes my tail wag. It's so stupid, and it makes me so happy, and it's completely just my own obsession, and it's all enthusiasm and darkness.
I had so much fun when we were at the Outside Lands Festival in San Francisco.
Let's talk about this.
Talk about it.
So we did the Outside Lands Festival,
in
which
San
is
Francisco.
so fun.
And yeah, Arden was there doing her live podcast. I was there doing stand-up. She put me on the podcast show. Can we just talk about...
Okay, so I accidentally ended up hosting a karaoke party at Dimples. I got like this private room. It was super fun, but so I had all the bachelors with me, and
a lot of bachelors flew in for
Yeah.
an appearance. Let me just say, we think that these guys are not going to be available. They're available.
they're better looking than any human on earth. And Guy Branum I brought two of them to the goddamn comedy jam that we did together. And Guy Branum kept flirting with them from the stage. And
Alex.
he goes, of course you're hot. You're human prizes.
Oh my God.
And Alex is so freaking hot.
I love Alex. We're friends now because of that weekend.
He's the best. And
yeah.
but I remember doing, and I was like, you're going to love Ben Z. Ben Z's your guy. He's
Ben
so
Z just
hot.
got engaged.
I know.
I know.
But like, you were too much personality.
Ben Z couldn't handle me, but I was trying to get in with Ben Z. And we had a good moment, and then a song he liked came on, and he abandoned me.
It was like a country western song.
Yeah.
It was like, I got
tough.
friends in low places.
What? No.
And then he had like, then all of a sudden his eyes went, he got like shark eyes. His eyes went like black, and he was like, he just was in a trance.
We were talking. We were showing each other pictures of our dogs, like connecting.
He's all
and then
about
all
the
of a
dogs.
sudden he goes. It was like, I got friends, and then he took his phone that he was on and starts Instagramming and like walks away from me.
No.
And I was just like, this isn't gonna work.
It was amazing.
You can't
it was
compete
also,
with Garth Brooks.
No.
I try.
And I went to his story to see the story that he posted
was
when he started.
incredible. And
you're not
you
even
could
in
see
it?
me in the background,
It was
just being
amazing.
like, really?
There's photo. I feel like I have photos. It was incredible.
It was so
incredible.
funny.
And we had Kenny the wrestler, Wells, Dean before he
was
went on his
there.
world tour.
Oh my God, Dean!
Dean was so Dean had come up. For those of you who watch The Bachelor, he had just come off of America.
Rachel's season,
and America had fallen in love with him because his mom had passed away and his dad lived in like a yurt and was so horrible to him and like
he cried on an air mattress with Rachel.
Yeah, and then she
Boo-hoo.
dumped him. But then so he was literally. We were concerned that nobody was going to come to our podcast because it was the earliest show of the festival. It was like noon, and Dean, I think, it was like packed, and it was like getting Robert Pattinson at the height of Twilight through the crowd. The women wanted Dean. He's hot.
Well, then so you did your show. I wasn't on that live one. I did a different festival, but I got to hang out with all of you. You had the hottest group of guys.
The hottest
we
guys.
were walking around
It
this
felt like
cool
Make-A-Wish.
ass festival. It really did. We were walking around this festival on our way to go see Lord in like the VIP tent.
That's right.
With the hottest group of dudes ever just trailing us.
Wells Adams is hot.
Wells, Alex, Dean,
Kenny.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, Kenny. I love Kenny.
Kenny.
It was so fun.
Dean, I have a friend, God bless her. She has been out a out gay lady for many years. She's happily married to her wife. They have numerous kids. And Dean, her name is Lori, and Dean was like, Lori, you got to go home? You're not going to come to the party with us? She was like, am I going to fuck Dean?
I know.
Like, he makes you feel like you have a chance. You know what I mean? You're like, oh my God, like, am I meant to be with, I'm supposed to be with Dean. Like, his eyes suck you in like a UFO beam.
Arden, I love these Bachelor men, and people judge me for it. But did you know that Nick Viall and I had a flirtation? Did I tell you any of this?
No. I've talked to him on the phone, and he talked down to me. But tell me
He
everything.
talked down to
Well,
you?
he called,
did he mansplain?
Well, he told me to call him. He was perfectly nice, so I called him. But I was like filming in Atlanta, so I called him, and he goes, "That was fast." I was like, "Oh, I didn't know I had to like play cool to talk to you about my podcast."
I know.
I didn't know I had to like wait.
That's
like
a classic
you
Nick.
texted me to call you, so I called you.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, tell me
I
everything.
did his podcast. I thought he wanted to like hook up.
I heard
Like,
he's hot in person. I heard he's so hot.
So hot.
Really?
Arden.
Are you
Like,
serious?
Dude, it's crazy.
I know
He's
your number
so-
one is Ben Higgins.
Ben Higgins was my number one.
But Nick is
has
hot.
replaced him because Nick doesn't, I don't think, believe in God as much as Ben. And Ben is like in a relationship, and it's never
No, Ben has the scripture on his ribs. Okay, wait a minute. But he did, with the scripture on his ribs, like dry hump out of sandals with JoJo in her gold bikini. That's when we all were like, wait, is that like full Bible verse on the
my
ribs?
God, he was so hot.
Anyway, okay, wait. So Nick is hot.
Nick and I were like hanging because I did his podcast.
Did you make out with him?
No, I'm dying to. I really think we will someday.
I want
Like,
you to.
I know
I
we'll
want
hook
you.
up someday.
Please text me. Please
I
text
just
me.
am gonna manifest it because he's so hot.
Make
I
a
know
vision
he'd be
board.
great in bed. I hung out with him a couple times, and I thought and then we matched on Raya, and he as soon as we matched on Raya, he wrote to me. This is exciting, Nikki. And I was like, oh my God, he's into me. And then I asked him on my show, like, I had him called into the show.
You are great.
And I was like, what's going on? Like, is there any interest? And he was just like, oh, a lot of things happened. But anyway, he was not interested. He was like, I just like you as a friend.
No.
I just respect you comedically, all of those things. And I was like, oh, great.
If I was Nick, I would be squiring you around town.
I love that word.
I would, oh yes, I would show you my undercarriage.
As I get more and more famous, he will come around.
Oh, for
but
sure.
That's what it's going to take.
It's worth it. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So I know you talked about being an unattractive child, and I want to share with you. So this weekend I've been having to do my book cover. I did take the pictures
Oh
of
my
the book
God,
cover.
I'm so excited for
Thank
your
you so
book.
much. Thank you so much. And so I was like, look, I don't want to do the lady comedian and like the sexy dress with like the scotch, like oops, like I don't want to do like.
Yes.
So I had to do. So this is me. I'm like in 6th grade, Barb from Stranger Things.
Oh my God, that is you.
Okay, but look what I did this weekend. Look what I did. Wait, hold please. That's me. Were you as
You
unattractive?
recreated it.
Look at what I did. Look at what I did. I got braces made.
Oh my God, yes. That is so. She recreated her picture from what grade?
6th grade.
No, sixth grade.
6th grade.
That is incredible. So that's going to be your cover.
I'm hoping so.
I
I
think
have
it's
to.
so
I
good.
have
You have
to
to
give.
get it.
I have to give them numerous options. But look at that. Look at the cat.
Oh my God, Arden, that is so
Would
good.
here's an honest question for marketing. If you were like a Rosé all day gal, you're at Hudson News Cellar in
I
the
know,
airport.
that's what you're gonna think.
Are you going to be afraid of her? Or are you going to go? She's fun.
I'm going to think that it's a joke, and so I'm gonna be like, "This girl is funny." It's Amy Sedaris looking,
Yes.
so it looks like it. I think it captures you,
Okay.
in a really great way. I don't think you doing some kind of sexy glamour pose
No.
or some cutesy thing.
There's that. They put sparklers on it.
Oh,
I have,
that's really
I have
cute,
braces
too.
on in there too. I have
That's really
braces.
fun. I like the other one.
Me too.
I really think it's funny.
Okay,
and
good.
it's so funny and it's over the top that it's not like this girl's crazy.
And if
she-
I put the original photo on the back
What's the
cover,
title?
it's called Little Miss Little Compton. I'm from a town called Little Compton,
Yes.
and that's what it's a yes.
I love it.
Okay, great, because it's a clearly I was
That's
not a pageant
an
winner.
eye-catching picture.
Thank you so
Like,
much.
I think that's really going to stand out at a Hudson News. And when I do see that at a Hudson News, I will move it to. I always position my friends' books like
my
ahead
God.
of everyone else's, and I put them in different places
Oh my
in the
God,
bookstore to
thank
get
you.
attention.
Thank
I can't
you
wait
so
for
much.
your book.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
Congratulations!
Thank
How
you so
hard
much.
was that to write?
So hard.
The hardest thing you've ever done?
Yeah. Yeah, up there.
Yeah.
Up there. I had to start with word count. I started out with, I don't know if you guys have ever crafted anything, but I had to just start with, again, the equivalent of me getting in the tub and running my lines. I had to start with just throw up the words onto the page
Mm-hmm.
so you get the word count and then go back and then clean it all up and
Yes.
tighten it. I just had to get the material out to play with because otherwise, if I'd worried about making each one perfect as I went, it would never have happened.
That's a good idea. So just just throw up all over the page and then fix it later.
I would set timers, and I would be like, okay, I'm going to do 1,500 words today, and then like I started with that, and then I went through and I cleaned up chapter by chapter, and then I went through it with my friend, and then I read it out loud to myself.
Good
but that's
for
how I did
you,
it.
girl. Congratulations. That's such a huge feat.
Dude, it's hard to get me to. I mean, I wrote it in like 15-minute bursts. I mean,
Honestly,
let's be real.
Well, no, that is exactly what you should do. I think
Yeah.
that it's so important. We were talking about this yesterday on the
just take
show.
15 minutes.
15 minutes, even 5 minutes.
True
like
story.
anything you need to tackle, just set a timer
Yeah.
for 5 minutes.
Turn off the internet.
Because even 5 minutes, you'll feel good. Turn off, put it airplane mode.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do that later today because I have a deadline on Friday of like just some story ideas that I need to submit. And I have been putting it off like crazy.
So
I've been trying to track down some Adderall to maybe get through it.
Can
And
I-
it's like, no.
can I-
just turn off your goddamn phone, go to a Starbucks and do it for 15 minutes, Glaser.
Here's my real tip. Somebody told me about this thing. It truly might be from the 70s. I don't know. But there was like this PDF you can find. It's 2 pages. It's called the Pomodoro technique.
Pomodoro, set the timer.
So it's literally like they figured out, people think that you have to sit for an hour or 2
Yeah.
hours. They figured out that the most productive time is 25 minutes. So and the guy had like a tomato timer. And that
That's
you
why
need
it's called Pomodoro.
The
It's like-
Pomodoro.
Yeah, like
so you
pizza.
need to you have to have your like ass in the chair. You can't be getting snacked. You can't be running. It's like ass in the chair. You turn off your internet, and then you have to be able to see the timer counting down because you're like, oh, okay, I can sit for 11 more minutes. Like, but you can get so much done. I did like 1 Pomodoro a day and got the book done.
I love it. That is what I'm going to do a Pomodoro today.
Hey.
I'm making a conscious decision right now to get a Pomodoro done
Text
later
me.
today.
Text
25.
me.
I will text
Text
you.
me.
I
Bookend
can't believe
it.
I get to even text Arden
Book
Marine.
it, girl.
I'm so grateful that I'm friends with you. It's
Me
so
too.
cool.
I
You're
like
so funny. You're so fun. We became friends, like I would say, like 5 years ago, maybe less than that.
I've been
But
rooting
it's
for
just-
you.
You're so much fun. You're such a bright energy, and you're just someone I want to be. And you have a good. So you're married, married, right?
Yep.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah.
How do you do it?
You know, honestly, I never talk about him. I picked it well. I never was on a hunt for a ring, and I was very independent always from the beat. Like, I did not throw out my life. I did not throw out my friends. My friend says that I'm the kite and he's the string.
Yes.
But like, yeah, I basically, honestly, I just didn't talk him out of me. Because, like, the first year I was, like, terrified and freaking out, and he liked me. I was like, that's disgusting. What's wrong with him? He's so gross that he likes me. And then I just kept showing up. And then, like, I really liked him, but I had to just...
Wait, you had that grossness? Like, he likes you? That
oh, God,
gross,
yeah.
You were repulsed by him?
Oh, my God, I thought it was disgusting.
Oh, my God, me too.
Oh, my God, I
okay,
was like,
this is
ew,
like,
this is disgusting.
This is blowing my mind.
No,
okay,
no,
how do you get over that?
Okay, honestly, I had to just see him like 2 dates a week max in the beginning, because I knew when I was actually with him I felt good, but like I wanted to cancel. But I was like, ew, his shoes are wrong, or like, ugh, he real. And so whenever he would say stuff like, oh, I want to spend the rest of my life with you, in my mind I was like, ew. And then my friend told me to just say like, oh, thank you, I don't have to reply, because
You
I
set a 25-minute timer.
yeah, it was 25 minutes. And then but it was literally just, I realized a lot of the noise in my head would have been about anybody. It wasn't specific to him.
Right.
And so like that, I didn't trauma bond with him over, like, I wouldn't talk to him about my messed up family or like past relationships or whatever, like just whatever things you bond over about your dark. I just didn't talk him out of me. So I would like go see documentaries and just like things to talk about other than how
Did you guys
horrible
take
I
it
am.
really slow physically?
I mean, I did. I was like, I'm not going to sleep with you for a month. I just told him right out of the gate, because I knew once I would just go into my own. I would act out what I'd always acted out. So it was just like, so he knew I just had to not be alone in a house with him. So it was like, we can make out all we want in the car. We can like grind in an alley, but like, you're not coming into my apartment. I'm not going home with you. And just to trick my own monster brain. And I just had to go slow and steady because I found it very unappealing that he liked me. I literally was like, he's disgusting.
How did you meet him?
I did improv with his friend, and he would come every week. And he, by the way, he's like adorable and sweet. He's like,
His shoes sucked.
He's the best. And my friend was like, you can get different shoes. Like, I was like a sniper, like pulling. I'm like, oh, his pants are a little high, or like, I don't like his haircut today. I was like,
you could do that with anyone, though. You're so right. You can do it with anyone.
I would have.
I really like that, because I do feel repulsed by
It's disgusting.
guys who like
It's awful.
like actually like me and like could love me. I really just
No, it's hard.
Does
my
he work in the
skin
business?
crawls.
He is a writer, but it really was. I have found it's still sometimes hard for me to like. It's hard. It's hard to receive or feel things, and so I just had a friend say to me like, just say thank you. You don't have to say it back. Like, you don't necessarily have to feel it in that moment. Just don't blow it up. Like,
I just had an epiphany this morning. There was like a cute guy that walked by me on the street, and then there was another cute guy, and I have crushes on like 3 people right now that I'm like, any one of these guys, if they came up to me, yeah, let's do it.
Great.
And it's like, no, I need to be like open to any, like, I'm just like, I could have anyone I want if I just believe in myself and understand how great I am.
It truly was. If it makes you feel better, like I was not fully cooked. Like, I still have the voices in my head. I just had to act as if for a little bit.
Act as if.
Like, it didn't mean that I did, like, in my head, it was still that, like, a lot of chatter, but I was like, I can act my way into right thinking. And it took a while for me to settle, to land the plane in my body. Like, and look, anybody can give a good first 3 months too. So it's just also like slowing it down. So it's not the same guy I've always dated. I'm not and me doing I'm the problem.
Yeah, I know. I am too. I complain about men, but it's me.
Yeah. And I have really bad taste. I have really bad taste. I have the worst guy in the stadium. Like, there he is.
Yes.
So just kind of seeing like, okay, let me just pick a little differently. Let me slow my roll. Let me just give somebody the dignity of their own experience. This is not every guy I've ever dated. This was somebody's little boy once who was like scared of the dark. Like, let's just like the monsters in my head, just quiet them down for a little bit.
I really like that. And that's what I'm finding that is going to eventually work for me as well.
You don't have to be fully cooked. it's literally just.
I know.
You can text or call me anytime. If I actually
love you.
because I didn't. I mean, this is when my book starts. My parents married on a dare. They weren't dating, and they were coworkers, and that's like, and they got married, and like so. I had a very
It's a
weird
high stake game of truth and truth
Sure,
or dare.
yeah, my mom was
probably
like,
should have went with truth.
Yeah, why not go with truth? It's a long
Do you want to
game
marry
of
Gary?
chicken.
No.
Closet in
it was
your
a
friend's
long-
basement?
Yeah, exactly. My-
Pomodoro.
yeah, exactly. But like, so I had a very weird roadmap, and so everything
A lifetime in heaven. Yeah,
7 minutes, 70.
Can I get out of here?
No, this is it. We're in heaven.
Come on.
But so everything is like, I kind of had to like, I had to gather my own equipment to do this
Yes.
because I didn't come by it naturally. And
Yeah.
so I'd be happy to pass along any little thing.
Well, thank you. Well,
Yeah.
Andrew Collin is newly single, and
Yeah.
you have a new podcast coming out next week in which you give some. People are wondering what happened in that relationship. It was your first relationship in 17 years,
20.
20
Aw.
years.
I only dated one girl in my whole life.
Okay.
Other than this girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it lasted for like 6 months.
6
7
months.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was the first time I said I love you to someone.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And lie.
That's
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm
But
kidding. I'm
that's
kidding. I'm
good.
kidding. I'm kidding.
It's good. It's good to have like. It's also like just to be like, okay, I can do this.
Yes, that's how it feels.
Yeah.
That's how it feels. And I thought I was ready.
Yeah.
Like, I took care of myself. I went to a therapist. I
Yeah.
went to a doctor to feel like I was healthy.
Yeah,
I went
good.
take care of my taxes. I'm on Zoloft. So I'm like doing all these steps.
That's good.
So I'm like, oh, now I'm ready
Yeah.
to. And then I realized I'm not quite there yet. And it's okay.
What does that mean? What do you mean you're not right?
In
because
what way?
she's saying that you don't need to be fully cooked.
yeah, in
so
what
You don't
way?
have to be fully cooked. I just
What scared you?
well, I mean, I don't want to talk
Okay.
poorly on her.
Okay.
But
How about your part? What was your part?
My part is I feel like I can't be. I'm on the road a ton with Nikki, which is great.
Yeah.
And I've worked 9 years to be there,
Yeah.
and I'm not gonna jeopardize that at all. I also am very open on the radio and on my podcast, and I feel like sometimes, like we were talking about, feeling free to be as funny as possible.
Yeah.
And maybe you're gonna say some fucked up shit.
I think we're very specific. I mean, look, I know that one of the things that I liked about my husband, like a lot of guys in the beginning would be attracted to me, like because I was fun or I did like, and then they would kind of like want to squish what they were drawn to or be competitive with it. And I felt like, Dan, like, whether I'm on the road or like we shoot Insatiable in Atlanta or I've done plays in New York, like it takes a specific person who, and so he's always like, have fun, like have it, like great, okay, I'll see you in 4 months, like, like, and to me, because he knows what I do makes me so happy that like it took a person, and I get that that's not for everybody, but like it's okay. I don't necessarily think that there's something wrong with you. Maybe it's okay. Like, oh, okay. Like going forward, I liked this, I like this, and I need somebody who can handle that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find.
It is hard to find.
But it's okay. Like I'm open. I'm not like taking this experience and being like, no, I'm just gonna go on the road and fuck you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like forget monogamy. I'm not like that.
No,
But
you would have done that, or you probably have done that, or you
I
would
have
have done that.
I
Yeah.
do feel like I like that.
Yeah, it's fun. It's so fun.
I like being carefree and,
Yeah, sure.
and whatever. But no, it was a great experience. It was a positive experience, and I'm glad that I did it. And I think I can do it again. And I think I know what I want more.
I will say, like, and again, I was always like, "Don't raid me," and I'm like, I'm very independent. I thought it felt like almost suffocating, and I will say, with the like setting it up right and with the right person, I actually feel like now I can be braver in the world because I have a soft place to land.
That's what I want.
And,
Yeah.
and I never thought that was a possibility. I was like, oh, I'll just never have that.
Yes.
I think you need someone really chill, like
You-
extreme,
100%.
more chill than you are.
Oh, I have that.
Yeah, and that's.
I
what-
realized because I used to date people that like they were the X factor, and now like I have a mellow yellow cool dude. Like I just have a chill dude, and like
Yes.
I used to love a fixer upper or crazy. It's like there are no fixer uppers. Like it has to be as is always.
Yeah. I got laser hair removal yesterday.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, you went?
Yeah, I went. It was so crazy. My friend just gave me the number of the place because she was like, she went the other day, and I said this on the radio yesterday before I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to a laser hair place eventually and get this checked out, because she was saying that like a lot of acne is actually ingrown hairs.
Interesting.
Because I kept getting these like zits that just don't act like a normal zit. You know, there's like phases of, I've had zits my whole life. I know what they look like when they're arriving.
Sure.
And there's a stages, but these things kept popping up on my face, and I go, there's no stage for this. It just stays. And then my friend went and she said this woman told her that as you get older, you're getting hairs popping out in weird places. And they get infected, and they're not a zit, they're an ingrown hair, and a lot of blackheads are actual hairs. So I went to this place yesterday that my friend recommended. I spent
Oh boy.
$6,000.
No,
you did. Yeah, you did.
Did
it hurt?
No, it was. Let me just say,
I have blonde hair. You can't do it with blonde hair.
I know you can't.
You got it all done already, or you're going to get it?
I started the process. It's going to be 6 sessions with touch-ups in between.
I wish I could do it.
Sessions.
I would do it if I could. I wish I could do it.
8 months, but let me see the hair on your arm.
It's blonde. I'm
Yeah,
blonde.
you're 100% blonde. Yeah. If you have like a mixture, because on my hair I have like blonde is on my, but is your vagina blonde?
No.
Okay, you could get that done. But like, do you want to? That's the thing. I'm struggling right now.
I just wax.
But waxing is so painful.
It's horrible. It's
horrible.
It's horrible. And I make the weirdest chit chat, and I like bring playlists, and I'm like, and then I like it turned out. One of the ladies I went to like was like, "Oh, you're friends with Rebecca." I'm like, I can't have my friend's friend be looking at my business.
I know I was getting my vagina lasered yesterday, and she had to shave it first. It was like very intimate, because I thought you were supposed to go in like with your hair.
I would imagine. I would think that too. I would think that too.
So she was laughing at how hairy my vagina was. She laughed at how hairy my armpits were. She was like, "Oh, wow."
So by the way, lady, I'm dealing with it. So maybe you shouldn't shame me before I remove it.
It's like you went to the dentist and you didn't brush your teeth for a month.
Yeah. She was like giggling as she shaved me, but she shaved my vagina. She shaved my armpits. She shaved my legs. She drew all over me, and then we started the laser thing. The laser on your face doesn't hurt at all because the hairs are so light.
Yeah.
When they get darker, that's where it hurts more.
Yeah.
And then my armpit, honestly, everyone was like, it's the most painful thing. It doesn't hurt like at all. You've had it before? Your bikini? Did you do the full thing, Noah? Did you get everything taken off?
I did do Brazilian, but I left on the top.
You left on the top? Like what top? Like
a little pie slice. Like a little tiny pie slice.
But like it's a lot like a tiny strip, like a Band-Aid size.
Yeah.
Above your clit. Like if you shoot right up above the crack. And you left just a strip there. Why?
Because I don't want to wax anymore. It's so
no.
annoying.
Why do you want the strip?
Oh, because I don't want to totally bald.
I don't want to look like a little girl. I like a little tiny pie slice.
Totally bald.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it too late?
I don't think it's too late. I think it's
only had one.
It's only had one. I'm going to tell her
next
time.
I need something to hide it.
Yeah, I don't want to see kindergarten me. Like just a little teeny slice of pie.
So
a little tiny pie slice.
But I don't know what to make it look
like. Like a little sliver. Just like a little peekaboo. A little peekaboo.
But how big? Like above your crack?
Yeah, like just like a little. I'll dry it out. I
think I know what you're saying.
Yeah, just like a little tiny, like a
little landing strip. Yeah.
But not. I don't want this. I don't want
the full strip.
Yeah,
you don't want
like a Hitler mustache.
You don't want a full plane. You don't want to.
I need a little and if I was drawing like Adam and Eve, there'd be a little like.
You want a soul patch for your vagina?
A little. No, soul patch is too like Hitler.
I guess the thing
the soul patch is here.
If a guy's going down on you, like the issue is not the hair above your crack.
Yeah,
it's the bottom. It's the undercarriage.
And it's the undercarriage. It's your from undercarriage.
Oh my God, she like had to do my asshole. It was so.
Yeah.
It was erotic.
Did she bend you over?
Or
did she go from like leg up?
Well, no, I lifted my legs up like a baby. Like when you lift a baby's legs up.
Yeah.
I did that, so I had to do this weird kind of like ab workout to lift my butt up. And then she lasered my asshole. And then
well, they always wax the asshole too, which actually hurts less. It hurts
it doesn't hurt at all. It feels great.
Yeah,
I'm like into butt stuff, and so she in this thing shoots
like
out
that.
air.
Not that triangular.
Can I see it?
Yes.
Not quite that. A little softer around the edges.
Okay, so I think
you drew a baseball.
I hope that after a first session that it's not done forever.
Yeah,
because my friend Sarah Lena, who told me to get it done, like recommended this place. She was like, she was freaking out last night because she had it done the day before, and she was like, I went for the full bald. Like and she goes, is that a bad choice? And I was like, no, just do it. Who cares? And then I went in and was like full bald.
But is it forever?
I don't know. I think
You've
maybe
only done one
What if I do
session.
Latisse on it? Like, you know, the
Oh,
thing
yeah,
that gives you
yes.
long lashes, and I just draw it back on and it will grow.
Yes.
If I do Latisse.
I just ordered. Paget Brewster has really long lashes, and so I ordered Revitalash, and you can't send it to California, so I had to have it shipped to New York because there's like probably it's going to make me go blind. I'm sure California.
It does.
Yeah,
I
look
have
great, though.
floaters because I use lash serum. Watch out. But it's worth it. Your lashes look amazing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you don't
like,
need to see.
I'll have
You
floaters.
honestly have amazing lashes.
Thank
do you
you
have
so much.
falsies on
I
right
have
now?
some falsies because I had to
Okay.
get my picture taken after.
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
a full hooker.
No.
I'm not full hooker this early in the morning.
You look great.
just
but
half hooker.
I'm just
I'll give you a
like-
handy
What you
behind
wore
the
last
bleachers.
night.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
It felt good going to get that done yesterday because I didn't realize that you know what it's going to be? It is $6,000 and that's a crazy amount of money. And I was like a little bit like, why am I spending this
Yeah.
much? Everything. But you know what? Shaving my legs is
Yeah.
such a chore.
Oh, you're doing the legs too.
Yeah, I got
Great. You're
legs,
like an
I got
eel.
armpits, I got my happy trail, I got my vagina, and I got my face. $6,000, and you know what? In 8
Worth
months, I'll
it.
never have to shave my legs again. Hopefully,
Worth it.
And it's so worth it. And you know, so many hookups I have had prevented because I wasn't ready in my undercarriage
Sure,
area.
sure. Yeah.
Like I haven't
Yeah.
I haven't felt ready in
No.
my vagina, and now I'm gonna be
Hookups are
ready.
hard because, like, hookups, you really have to be like, oh my god, like, what am I present? How do
underwear,
I
the-
present? Yeah.
Yes. But I will say this, that I was talking to a friend last night who's going through a breakup, and I had a lot of time to think when I was getting lasered yesterday. I was just sitting there without my phone, and this woman, it was a very intimate experience. She was just having, that is like the most intimacy I get in my physical intimacy I get in my life now is when I go for medical exams.
Sure.
It really does. I feel like really nurtured, and like it really means a lot to me when they have nice bedside manner because
Yeah.
I get so much out of those moments where someone's touching me in intimate places where I don't normally get touched. I didn't get like wet from it, but I was just like, when I used to get waxes and they would they would rip it off and then she would rub
Yeah.
the area afterwards just to distract my nerves, just a rub.
yeah.
And I would feel so soothed
Taken
by
care
that
of.
rub. I would
Taken
always,
care of.
I go to that same woman to get threaded, and I don't go back to her to get waxed because I just quit waxing because it was so painful. But I always tell the woman when I see her for threading, I'm like, you used to rub the side of my pelvis
Yeah.
after you ripped off the thing, and it would feel so nurturing and so motherly, like in this way that I needed. But yesterday I was on the table, and this is going to go in a different direction than you think it's going to
I
go.
love
but
it already.
my friend is going through a really bad breakup. I saw him last night and he's just like, it's so painful, Nikki. It's the worst pain. And I was like, honestly, I was thinking about breakup pain yesterday or today when I was getting lasered because I was thinking about how grateful I am to get this laser thing done and be able to afford this because getting your pussy waxed is the most painful thing
brutal.
that I would go through and physical pain. But I will say that I never was dreading it until it was happening. I didn't go in being like, oh, this is going to be painful.
No.
Oh no, I'm not going to, do I want to get it done?
No.
I don't think I want to get it done. Like I ultimately stopped waxing my vagina because I don't hook up anymore.
Sure.
That's really the reason. It's not about the pain, but it is when you're going through it, it is so painful.
It's so painful, and sometimes you go and you're like, how much, like how long? Some people are in and out, and then you're like, you really still have to apply more wax? Like, what was happening down there?
Men wouldn't be able to, this kind of pain.
It
It's like,
is so crazy.
and I have a really high threshold for pain. I've been told that by people who like do this stuff,
Yeah.
do painful things, and they're like, wow, you have. So I know that this is one of the most painful things I've been through is getting my vagina waxed. So then last night when I was talking to my friend, I said, you know what? It's funny to me because I never avoided getting my vagina waxed, even though I knew from time and time again that it was painful. I never was bracing myself when I walked into the salon. I never dreaded it all morning. If I had an appointment, I just would go and then I'd be like, oh wait, yeah, I forgot this is painful. Well, here we go. But I will say, breakup pain,
Yeah.
the pain of rejection
It's horrible.
in a breakup is so painful that I do avoid
Yeah.
anything that will lead me to that. I do avoid intimacy now.
Because
I
it's like
do
a
avoid
shame
getting
hole.
close
You go to like
men.
a shame hole. There's just something so brutally.
Emotional pain is worse than
awful.
physical pain.
Yeah.
I really do think that's true. It's like and that was what indicated it to me yesterday when I was on the table. I was thinking like, oh, I don't like the pain of getting this laser, what this is going to be, because she was like, it's going to be painful. And I was like, I'm not even scared. But when I I don't even know that pain is on the other side of a relationship because it could just be great. But the chance that pain is going to be on the other side, I don't even let myself get close to even dating anyone now because I'm so scared of it.
I get that. 100%. I mean, 100%. I will say, like, slowing my roll because I was so like a little scared chihuahua. It was literally because I was starting to date again, like, because I had taken a breather and it was like doing the like 2 dates a week made it so it wasn't so fast and furious. Like, it wasn't like getting drunk on it. You know what I mean? Like, it made it a little bit like walking slowly into the water. And then when I started to realize, I just assumed there's going to be breakup at the, like it never even occurred to me that it could work out.
Agreed.
And I remember at the end of the first year, like, I'd behaved well. I hadn't ruined it. I hadn't panicked and like just destroyed it because I was terrified and felt badly about myself. Like, and I remember being so exhausted because I realized, like, oh my God, this means I have to just keep behaving well. Like, I thought in my mind, I did it. It's done. I behaved for a year. That's over. You know, it's like, shit, this just goes on and on.
Yes.
But I will say it got easier after, like, setting it up. I sort of relaxed into it. And I for me, I think it was also just accepting, like, this is how I am and not expecting, I'm just wired like this. So, like, I'm not going to be one of those girls that just falls in love easily and has a swingy ponytail. And, like, this is always has a nice, but, like, I'm with
swingy ponytail.
You know what I mean? Like, they were always just like had boy, like they were just always in love, or like pictures of them getting held in a hammock or something. I was like, I mean, I'm Barb from Stranger Things. I feel bad about myself. I'm afraid of you. You're gonna hurt me. Like,
I think that's really the key is like the next thing, because I do get scared of when men ask me out to go on a date because I'm like, oh God, he's going to expect me to kiss him at the end of the night. And I don't even know if I want to kiss him.
Yeah.
That's the bare minimum.
Sure.
You got to kiss a guy after
Of
he's
course.
treated you to dinner and he likes you and you.
Yeah.
And so I stress out about that. But honestly, I'm going to go into my next thing. Like, I just want to start out as friends with anyone. Like, the expectation is that we just are friends, and then I will decide when I want to take it to the next level. But to not get ahead of myself anymore and go, oh, well, then I'll have to be in a relationship with this person, or because as much as I want a relationship, I'm terrified of having to be in one.
I truly,
or to have to get tricked into one.
I used to feel like I got taken hostage by people I didn't want to date.
Yes.
And so it was really, my friend kept being like, Arden, the guys are the gas pedals, the girls are the brakes. Because, like, he wanted to move fast. And, like,
oh, I love that.
So he was moving fast, and it was like suffocating. It was like, oh God, this, like, stop. Like, he would say, like, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. It was like the worst thing you could say to me, you know. And I would have to think, like, okay, for today, like, it doesn't mean that he's capturing me, that I'm agreeing to this.
That I have
like,
to do that.
We didn't get engaged for 6 years.
Wow.
Like, I was like, whoa. Like, he wanted to move in. I'm like, I'm not playing house. Like, I'm not. I can pay for my own cable bill. I'm fine. You know, like.
See, I tend to want to rush that with guys that are the wrong guys, but guys that want to rush. I talk a lot about this on the show, and I think my listeners know me as someone that's boy crazy, and I'm just like, I want a boyfriend so bad. But in the past, I will say that I've pursued men, and then when I get them, they're like full ready to go, and I feel trapped. I feel like they expect something of me. I feel like I owe them a relationship. I've been in relationships I didn't want to be in because I felt like I worked so hard to get this guy.
Me too.
And I like you
Me
did
too.
that year where you spend a year being good and you're like, I got it. And then you feel like I don't want to hurt him, and you stay.
Oh God!
And I don't ever want to.
That's why I didn't.
I don't
date.
want to have to have sex with someone that I'm not into ever again. And I used to do that
we all
the
did.
time. I had sex with someone that actively they're on top of me, and I'm like, you know what? I don't even blame this guy. He has no idea that I'm not into this. And at one point, we were having sex. He was my boyfriend, and I said, I remember being like, Nikki, you're raping yourself with his body. Like, this is a sexual situation you don't want to be in.
Yeah.
And it wasn't rape in the sense that I felt but I felt like I was betraying myself. I was going again. And so I told him, get out of me. We have to stop doing this. Like, it has to end right now. In that moment, I couldn't even finish it. I couldn't let it go for it any longer. And I broke up. I mean, we were done after that because he was like, what's going on? I'm like, I don't like this guy.
I would almost say, like, just knowing that, like, good for you for even being able to do that. And, like, just knowing, like, just, like, it feels like, just, I mean, like, I'm not a therapist, I don't know, but, like, just knowing, like, that you can pull the parachute cord at any time, and that you probably sounds like you're working on yourself and you know yourself better, and like it's gonna be out of your comfort zone, and there's gonna be some like boogeymen that come up, or but like I do think slowing it down to see what's like really like a turnoff or what's just you trying to like sabotage.
I have a new crush, and I'm not going to tell anyone about it.
That's
I'm
smart.
not even going to tell myself about it
Okay.
because I like someone, and I'm not going to, because I think when I get ahead of myself and I tell all my friends, we start talking about what it could be.
Yeah.
What am I going to see him here? I am literally going to keep this one to myself and see what happens.
I will say this. My husband, now who I never talk about, because I used to talk about, and I almost feel like I would make people like a story, and I would just hand them over. It was almost like I could only have something that was mine for like 2 seconds, and then I would just hand them over. Either women would take them, or I made them kind of like, I kind of made it like an object or a thing or a funny thing or like jokey about it. And it was like, this was the first one I didn't talk about. I didn't hand it over. Like, and I really never have. Like, I was like, at first I thought, oh, like after the first year, I'll have to hand it over. Like, I don't post about him. I don't do, like, I'm crazy about him.
Yeah.
Like, and like, I never, ever, I thought that was for other people, not for me. And I really had that wiring.
Yes.
And like I'm still like a weirdo, and sometimes it is hard to comfort me or and like that's just my operating system, but it's not to do with him.
Yeah, I like that you keep it private, because I think that I just need to talk about it and analyze it, and you know what, this new crush I have, I'm not even sold on him.
Yeah.
Like, I usually with crushes, I'm like, if he liked me, I'd be all in tomorrow. That's not rational thinking. I don't even know the guys I have crushes on at all.
No.
When you have a crush on someone, you don't know them.
Yeah.
That's just a crush. And to even think that I would, if they wanted to be my boyfriend, I would be their boyfriend or girlfriend tomorrow. That's stupid. That is not, that's getting ahead of yourself. So this person that I have a crush on, I'm like, I honestly, I feel something there, but he's going to have to prove it to me pretty hard. And I'm actually on the fence about him, and he doesn't even know that I like him, yet he's going to have to come through in a way that he doesn't even know yet, and I'm just going to take it slow.
It never even occurred to me when, like,
I can't wait to tell you guys who
it's never even occurred to me back in the day. I know, I can't wait to hear. Never even occurred to me back in the day to even wonder, like, do I like them? I would be so worried if somebody liked me. It never even occurred to me to be like, do I like them?
Okay, this was a thing that I think is, that I said yesterday to my friend, that is why I'm even thinking this way. But my friend is like so into this guy that she's dating right now, and all she does is worry about, like, does he like me? Does he like me?
Yeah.
By every account, this girl's not seeing things clearly. This guy's head over heels for her, but she's not seeing that.
Yeah.
She's just worried about every text. And I go, hold on a second. So your goal is to like have this guy like you at every turn. Like at every decision you make, every text you make, it's about, I got to keep this guy liking me. So what that means is that if he does keep liking you, you're just going to marry this guy. There's never going to be a moment where you go, do I like this guy?
Yeah.
So you're setting yourself up to marry this guy because if he continues liking you forever, you'll be with him forever. That's the goal, is for him to like you forever.
Yeah.
And to never fuck up, and for him to keep liking you. So that means you're going to end up with this guy. You're not even giving yourself the opportunity to maybe have other options. And this guy is just someone you're just newly dating.
Yeah.
So this ridiculous idea that if you have a crush on someone, or if you like someone, that you just, whatever I can do to keep them, why don't you just take a step back and be like, okay, this person that I've built up, do I want to be with them? And can I leave the room in my life? Can I leave room down the road to maybe entertain the idea that I might want to not like this person that I've built up so much? Because my friend, I just hear her talk, and I'm like, well, this guy, she's going to end up with him because I know he likes her, and that's all she wants is for him to like her. So she's going to marry this guy just like she married her last guy, that she just found a guy that liked her and kept him. And as women, I think we want to get married so bad that we just want guys to like us and like us. I mean, we never even analyze if we actually like them.
I will say, like, and I have a lot of friends who want to get married desperately, whatever. And like, and I am so miraculous, like I had no chance of this, but I'm very happily married. But like, I will say, you're still yourself. You don't get a free pass from life. You still wake up with your own. Nobody can fix your own. Like you some days you still wake up at a 7, or you still wake
Yes.
like, or I'll still wake up going, I need a job or whatever. Like it doesn't give you a pass from the experience of life in your body.
Yes.
It just is like a companion, but it doesn't make the like whatever's in your head today, it doesn't make that go away.
Oh, my friend got her dream guy, she's been pursuing for 5 years,
Yeah.
and everything's going great. Guess who's still coming up with things to feel?
That's right.
And I go, girl,
There's no free pass in
literally,
life.
you won the lottery of your this was the thing that you wanted more than
It's
anything.
Ashley, I, and Jared.
It's
She got-
Ashley, I, and Jared.
Yeah, she got Jared.
Oh my God, we're gonna talk about Ashley, I, and Jared when we get
Yeah.
back, because I want to hear your analysis
I'd love
of that,
to.
and we'll keep you up to date. Listeners, stay with us. If you don't know what we're talking about, we're gonna fill you in. It is fascinating. I
Yes.
love them so much. Arden Marine.
Marine.
Arden Marine is with us. Andrew Collin is with us. Check out Insatiable season 2 if you haven't gotten into that show. People are loving it. Season 2 just dropped on Netflix. Arden is a joy, such a talented comedic actress.
Thanks.
And this show, I know people just fucking love
It's a
this
blast.
show. It's such a blast. You're so proud to be on it.
I have so much fun.
Oh, that's so great to hear. We'll be back after this. But guys, what actually makes a better toothbrush? Let's talk about Quip. You know I love Quip. I used it this morning. 2-minute timer. Make sure you get all the right places and brush your teeth fully for a full 2 minutes, because guess what? You are not brushing for 2 minutes if you think you are. It's much, much longer than you think. And Quip will make sure that you brush the full time. And that's really what brushing is about. It's about the time you put into it. It's not about all the gimmicks that other toothbrushes offer. This way you never have to go to CVS and buy another toothbrush again. You're going to get your Quip toothbrush, $25, get you your Quip. It is such a sleek, cool-looking rose gold is what I recommend getting. It's so cute. Comes with a cute travel case, comes with a mirror mount. All this, the sleek design is just simple to use, and it comes with all the things that you need. It's has strong power in it. It's battery operated. It's going to last you a really long time. You just change the battery when it peters out. And guess what? They send you a brush head refill on a dentist recommended schedule. So as soon as the bristles start to go, you get sent a brand new brush in the mail. You snap it on the thing, and then you got a new brush. Brand new looking. I love it so much. You're going to get your first refill pack for free. If you go to getquip.com/Nikki right now, getquip.com/Nikki right now, and you get your first refill for free. They start at just $25. First refill for free at getquip, getquip.com/Nikki. We'll be back with more Arden Marine, Andrew Collin, and me, Nikki Glaser, after this. There's nobody on the planet like you, so why would you buy a generic mattress built for everyone else? That sucks. Get Helix Sleep. Helix Sleep saves you all the trouble of choosing a mattress, because they'll choose it for you after you fill out your sleep quiz that takes 2 minutes to complete, and then they use the answers to match your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress. Listen to this. Go to helixsleep.com/Nikki. Take their 2-minute quiz. Find your mattress. Then, these are mattresses that are picked by GQ and Wired Magazine as the best overall mattress of 2019. They have a 10-year warranty. You get to try your mattress out for 100 nights. They ship it right to your door. If you don't like it, they'll pick it up for you. No questions asked. It ships free. Right now, you can get up to $200 off your mattress. If you need a new mattress, just trust Helix Sleep, you guys. Just trust it. Don't go to a mattress store and lay in a bunch of mattresses in front of a sales clerk who's going to watch you flip and fold all over the place. It's so awkward. They'll nail it for you. HelixSleep.com, HelixSleep.com, HelixSleep.com/Nikki, HelixSleep.com/Nikki for $200 up to $200 off your mattress. And we're back at You Up with Nikki Glaser. I'm here with Arden Marine, Andrew Collin. Let's get to Dear You Up.
Hey, Nikki, you've got mail.
Dear You Up is brought to you in part by Dish, tuned into you. To learn more, you know what to do. Call 1-844-CALL-DISH or go to dish.com. This comes to us from Real Kevin Kapoor on Twitter. He says, I've just started listening to your podcast, and whenever I hear Nikki talk, it reminds me of my best friend that I once knew. It feels as if she is the really cool friend that I would hang out with. I don't know if it makes sense or not, but there's something comforting about your podcast. Listen, Kevin, thank you so much. I get this a lot. That my podcast is something that you should listen to. If you are listening to the show right now and you're not tuned into my podcast. Comes out every Friday. It's a collection of clips from the week of the Sirius show that you're listening to right now. But it also, in addition to that, we have about 40 plus minutes of new material that I tape on the road or wherever I am on Thursday and Friday with my friends. It's sometimes in my apartment. It's sometimes in the back of an Uber. It's sometimes on a plane. It's just a mishmash of me on the road, and it's very vulnerable. It's very like I'm talking to my best friend, and Andrew's on it a lot, and it's the You Up podcast, and I really hope you subscribe and listen in because it's so
good.
fun.
I'd listen to that.
It's really fun, Arden. Thank
I
you
bet.
so much.
Heck yeah.
Arden, Maureen is here. She has a podcast that you should listen to if you're a Bachelor fan. It's called Will You Accept This Rose? And I love it so much. I've been on it a ton. They have so many fun segments and games and just the comics you have on, the pageant. Aaron.
We made Eddie Pepitone do an entire season.
No, you did not.
Yeah, he did the whole first season of it.
Oh my God.
And he would call, he'd be like, "This is Eddie Pepitone. I'm watching this. These women, why are they go?" It was Ben Higgins' season. He's like, "They're fighting for this guy. I don't know, Arden. It's just bumming me out." Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about Ashley and Jared.
Please.
Ashley,
Love it.
and Jared. We have 5 minutes to
Okay.
get through this.
Okay,
Can you give the broad strokes?
Okay, broad strokes. There's this woman named Ashley I. She's obsessed with Disney. She's obsessed with Aladdin. She has false
She
eyelashes.
looks like Jasmine.
She's beautiful.
One of the most beautiful women.
Ugly crier. Can't like she cries in a way that's like snot.
She looks like Kim Kardashian. Yeah.
Kim Kardashian. So she became obsessed with this guy Jared, who looks like Aladdin in her mind, even though
Who was the Bachelor?
She was with Chris Soules, who got left in the Badlands. She got like
Oh my God,
ditched
she got
in
left
in,
on like a
the worst
sand dune.
double date.
In a helicopter.
So they
flew
were on the
away and
show
just filmed her
together.
No.
alone on a sand dune.
Then she went to Paradise to Mexico, and she fell for this guy Jared, and she was basically like a stalker. Like, I'm going to like club you over the head, put you in a sack, and like you're coming back to my cave. You're mine.
It was so embarrassing
Cray.
to watch.
Cray.
It
And,
was
like-
like,
Cray.
girl, chill out.
She wrote
She would
7-page
cry when he would go on other dates.
A 7-page single-space handwritten letter that was so
Word count.
word count. She could write a book. She's my ghostwriter.
should write
she
a
did
book.
write my book. She did
I
write
would
my book.
kill to read her book. How did
Is
she do
Little
it?
Compton?
She's from Little Compton. So she stalked him, and then there was like they aired a wedding, and she stalked him. Like a couple got married. She stalked like Jade and Tanner. She stalked them at their wedding. She stalked. They came back another season. She stalked him again, and she was like, so then
She's just
Did he
like
hook up with her at all?
they
is
had a
this all
couple
in?
kisses.
They had a couple
Okay.
kisses and a couple dates, but like he was
was,
freshly off another season of The Bachelorette.
His heart
He
was broken.
and he was like a finalist on there, so
Yeah.
his heart was broken
From
on
Caitlyn.
From Caitlyn, and
She was a great bachelorette.
and he liked other girls. He went on dates with other girls,
Yeah.
and she would. This girl Ashley would cry to the camera, and she would
Yeah.
throw these tantrums.
Yeah.
And he knew the whole
Snotty.
time. He knew that she was in love with him. Her sister was on one season with her,
Yeah.
and she would be like,
They both
"I
cried.
love him so much."
Both of them cried. Her
And
sister
he would like
cried
hear
too.
her wailing in her
Yeah.
tent. Like it was so embarrassing.
Side note: they just got married, and
They
it gives,
just got
and
married.
it gives every stalker. It's like actually the worst thing that could happen for crazy ladies out there because is the
Well,
only.
what finally got him?
Well, I'll tell you, I have a theory. I actually, because I'm so deep in now,
Yeah, you're pretty deep.
we watch all
You
the
and Eddie.
franchise. So I watched Bachelor Australia. He went on Paradise Australia right before, and like none of the girls liked him. And I think his ego was hurt. I think, and then he had this revelation that all of a sudden Ashley's the girl for him. But they seem pretty cute together. I ran into them at like this celebrity pumpkin patch that somehow I got invited to that was like awful.
I saw them
That you
at
stalked
that.
yourself
Yeah.
into.
I saw that and I was like, oh my God. I freaked out. There's a photo of me. They look terrified where I'm like harassing them. They look frightened. But I'm actually really happy for them. They seem happy.
Oh my God,
Their wedding
me
was really cute. It
And
was really
Anya
cute.
Marina, we send each other like there's a lot of compilation videos of them, like her being obsessed and then slowly him being like. Then he says one night he was at a bar and she was like dancing on the bar and he just like looked up and was like, I love her.
I mean,
like
that's
he
really
just suddenly
cute.
knew.
They seem happy.
They seem
Do you think
so
he
happy.
sees all the clips of her crying?
He saw, like, he knew all of it.
He seems like he loves her for all of her quirks. Like, he actually they seem real. I'm really happy for them.
I'm dying to interview him because I want to know what it took. And I don't know that we get a real answer, but I think we get a real answer out of her, and I think she knows.
Do you think getting rejected by a lot of
I like
Australian
that.
women made him feel bad? They were, like, making jokes about him, and I was
wow, I didn't know that.
Because I think it did, like, the franchise, like, they only wanted the Australian guys, although they love Grant the fireman who had the Grace tattoo, Grant and Lace.
Oh,
I have a good story I'll tell you after.
But I gotta tell you, if you're a single girl out there or you're a guy out there that pines after someone and they don't like you, the only hope that you can get out of this is watching their story. Go YouTube Ashley, and Jared and their journey, because it's
True
wild.
story.
I remember just being, girl, get it together. You're so
It was
embarrassing. This
she
guy will
nailed it,
never
though.
like you. And now
They're
they are
so cute.
blissfully
They're
married.
so cute.
So cute.
They're
Does
so
she have a lot of
Arden Mirren,
followers?
Yeah.
Well, there it is.
Arden Mirren, Andrew Collin, thank you so much for being here. What an amazing show. It flew by. Arden,
blast.
come back anytime. I love
My
you so
pleasure.
much. I'm
Thank
so grateful that you're my friend.
Likewise.
Oh, you're one of the best in the business. Check out Arden's book when it comes out, Little Miss Lil Compton. I
Yes.
can't wait. Follow her on all social media, Arden Mirren, Marine, Myrin,
That's
Arden,
right.
Arden.
That's right.
Check out her podcast. Check out Insatiable Season 2. It just came out on Netflix.
Yes, honey.
Andrew Puddles, Colin, his new podcast comes out today. New episode comes out
Yes.
yesterday. Puddles with Andrew Collin, and we'll be back tomorrow. Squirt, squirt, jackpot.
Bye.